in my own hometown. Stranger.
Howdy folks, Little Johnny. I've just received a delivery of equipment for the brewery. A robo brew. And I'm about to unpack it. And it sort of just got me thinking about a video I sort of wanted to be doing for a little while. And it's sort of to do with the progression of home brewing on the individual level. You know, where as home brewers we start and the journey we take and sort of the things that we do as we go along, and you know, the steps that can be taken and the places we get led to. It's often referred to in forums and stuff as the slippery slope. I like to throw out a comment when there's someone new, when they're taking those first big steps from, you know, from a kit tin into using grains or hops, or you know, taking that advancing step. And I say, look out, kiddies. Yeah, whoever it is on the slide. Yeah, because that's how it sort of feels. You get there and you start off, you're looking to do something fairly simple, and you know, before you know it, you're taking all these little extra steps, and you know, you're buying more gear, you're spending more money, and you're taking up more room in the garage, and taking up half of the white space in the fridge in the kitchen, and yeah, and it starts getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, and this has got me thinking. You know, as anyone has, you know, guys have been, anyone watches my videos, you know, regularly will see. You know, I've progressed even just in the time I've been doing the videos. I've progressed my 3V setup from sort of a 2-vessel to a 3-vessel, and made improvements and bought extra gear and stuff. And even with that, with the 3V system, and you know, supposedly the ideal setup for brewing, I couldn't resist myself buying a robo brew. And there's going to be videos on that, I don't want to get into that, but that just sort of got me thinking. I'm out here in the garage, and I thought, I haven't done a video for 2 weeks. I've had other stuff on, and I thought, they stuff it. I have been throwing around the idea of putting together some videos on a Friday. I don't work Fridays. Fridays generally the day I do a little bit of, I do my brewing or play around in the brewery. More likely to do stuff on Fridays. Anyone who's subscribed, which you can do by hitting the button down there, would know that I tend to release videos on a Friday night. So what I've been thinking is about having a series of videos that go along with the normal videos and, you know, the brew school videos. And I'm thinking there's something I'm going to call 5 on Friday, which is just going to be a little, just a quick throw to get a little bit of a chat about different things involved in the brewing, without going into great detail, without doing demonstrations and all the rest of it, just a little bits and pieces. So today I thought I'd jump on and I'd have a bit of a go. So obviously it's just going to take more than 5 minutes, because I think I've gone around 4 minutes already just raving on with, you know, with the setup. But that's sort of where we're going to go in the future. So I've gone around in the shed, and at the moment, with all the experimenting and different things I've got going on, I really think it was a perfect time. You know, right now in the garage, I've got a 23 litre batch in the ferment fridge of lager, which has been there for now 3 weeks, and it's getting close to being bottled over the next couple of days. I've got 2 15 litre fermenters, which are the BR97 versus US05 cheap kit beer experiment. I've got a 5 litre demijohn kicking about, which is a hop experiment, you know, with some experimental hops. Yeah. Yeah, and so at the moment I've got bits and pieces of every sort of style going on. You know, the hop experiment was an extract brew. I've got a kit brew. I've got a full all grain brew going. You know, there's some under temp control, some are under ambient temperature here in the garage. So I've got everything on hand to throw it in. So obviously drinking some beer while we're doing this. Again, it's Friday afternoon. It's an IPA that we made at the local country brewer store on a demo day a little while back, which has been discussed previously. So, little Johnny's jumped on the slide. He wants to get into home brewing. He goes to the shop, gets himself his kit, and yeah, this is where he starts. Can of Coopers, and quite often that's actually funny that there's a lager tin here, because quite often this will be what's in your starter kit. It tends to be a Cooper's Lager or a Cooper's Draft, and that's where they start. So he follows the instructions on the can. Yeah, he pulls it out. It says to him, he says, mix it up with where does it say here on the hood? Yeah, recommended 1 kilo brew enhancer too, which is not a bad idea. But yeah, quite often, first time brewers are going to jump out. They go and buy themselves a bag of dextrose because it's cheap, because they know they need a kilo of sugar. Must admit, Coopers have upped the game a little bit with the instructions. They've gone from just adding a kilo of sugar to actually giving recommendations for a sugar mix, which is a much better option. But this is where most guys start. They start off with the dextrose, and they're brewing them up. And by and large, for the majority of people, they're not real pleased with that. It's a little bit disappointing. It wasn't what they were expecting. They haven't made that beer, which is the same as, you know, Carlton Cold or Tooheys New or, you know, Great Northern, whatever it is they're drinking, that they think they're going to make by throwing a can and a bag of sugar into a bucket and sticking it on the bench in the garage. So they start playing around a little bit, and they go, well, hang on, Coopers are saying that we should have some BE1 or some BE2. So they go and buy a box of this stuff. BE1, BE2, a mix of sugar and malt, and a bit of maltodextrin. Yeah, it improves it a little bit. Yeah, and the brewer, he's still not incredibly happy. It's a little bit better. It's made a bit of an improvement. So he goes out and he asks a few questions. The next thing you know, he's doing this. He's using like dry malt, pure malt in a dry form, or it might be liquid form, depending on where you're buying your stuff from. If you happen to stroll into your local home brew shop as opposed to Big W or Woolworths or your local liquor shop that sells kits. Yeah, and you get some malt and you stick that in there and you start, oh, hang on, it's getting a little bit better. Yeah, and then again we're learning a little bit more, and they do this a little while, it gets a little bit better. Some guys start jumping on forums and learning a little bit more, and they'll improve there, they'll change their yeast and they get some temperature control. Yeah, and they start banging out some reasonable beers. Then they start going, oh, hang on, maybe we should get some mighty hops. So they down to the local brew shop to get themselves a little pack of hops. And 9 times out of 10 they start doing those little bloody tea bag things. Yeah, we've all been there. Everyone knows, just about everyone's been there at some point. They've gone and bought a little tea bag. 3.5 grams worth of hops or whatever it bloody is, for $57. And we think we're going to make some bloody exotic, wonderful stuff, and off we go. So we start buying some small amounts of hops and adding them into the brew, and again it gets that little bit better. And then again a little bit of reading progresses to this stuff. And then, next thing guys are buying, they're buying some malt, malted barley, buying some grain. And you see it all the time, guys. I've bought some grain. It needs to be cracked. How do I do it? Because you don't know. You don't know when you start. You just see, get some grain, steep some grain. You don't get that you've actually got to mill the stuff. You've got to crack the grain to use it. I remember, long time ago when I first started brewing, and the first time I ever used grain, I just stuck them in the bloody bucket of water as they were. I had no bloody idea what I was doing. No one gave me any advice. So they're putting a bit of grain in those kits and they're going along alright, and it's made it a little bit better. And they start thinking, hang on, I'm using some grains, I'm using some hops, I'm using some malt. Maybe I should just go the next step. Bang! They're out there buying themselves buy a bloody pot, a bag. And they jump in, they're doing brew in the bag. They're brewing with grain, and suddenly Yeah, they are buying more of this stuff. They're buying more hops. They're boiling this stuff up. They're doing little pots, a little pot on the stove. Yeah, the 19 litre pot from Big W is really popular. It's a really common step for guys to use. I use one. I've got two sitting on my bench. I still use them occasionally, not as much as I used to with the 3V. Now I've got a HLT. But even for a long time, when I first started off with when I was using the mash tun, I was using my 19 litres on the stove for heating water, for sparging and mashing. So they continue to get used. But it's the first point that most people go to. $19 pot, a $12 grain bag, and they're making all grain beer on the stove. And this is where the missus really starts to get involved, because by and large, I've discovered, and I think most guys will agree with me, women don't like the smell of beer, or beer being cooked anyway, boiling water, grains and hops. They don't like the smell of it. My wife hates it. I got bloody kicked out of the house real quick once I started doing that sort of stuff on the stove. So I come out of the garage, and it's, out here I can do stuff without her watching it. It's crazy. And most guys get the same thing. They get kicked out in the garage, they get cornered of the garage, before you know it, the car's out the front. Yeah, and there's no room for anything in the garage because it's full of brew gear. So, fella's now, he's doing brew in a bag. He's playing around, he's juggling with it, and he's having a little bit of trouble getting his right volumes and getting his hops right because of the concentration factors and all of the U calculations and the different bloody utilisation of hop acids. And it's like, okay, well, no, I'm going to take the big step. I'm going to go full all grain. They get themselves a mash tun. They go and buy an esky. They bloody make a manifold for it. They get a round esky. They get a bigger pot with a false bottom. Just a bigger pot with bigger, so they can put a bigger bag in there. They can do full volume. Then it starts getting crazy. They're buying, we're buying 25 kilo bags of grain off. Some guys, buying pallets of the shit at a go, all but, bags upon bags of grain. Hundreds of kilos at a go. I don't do that. I have one big bag here at a go, with an arrangement of smaller specialties and stuff. Then you're out and you're buying hops, and you're buying hops in bigger packs. You're not buying 60 gram packs, you're buying a couple of hundred a go, like that one there, half a pound. So just had this come in just the other week. Me and a mate went halves. We bought nearly 5.5 kilos of hops in from America. I'm sure he's going to use half of his on one brew. He's a mad IPA brewer. I'm going to use a fair chunk on my next brew on a New England IPA. And again, there's that slide. We've gone from this little pack of hops to this, and oh, hang on, that's not going to do me whole brew. I'm going to need 2 of these just to do one batch of beer. And suddenly a batch of beer is not costing you $14, it's costing you $70. But you're making a completely different beer, and suddenly it's all turned on its head. It's going crazy. And it still doesn't stop. You're doing this sort of thing. This is the next thing people are doing. We go, and hang on, not enough to get the missus will kick me in the garage and I'm not allowed in the house. Stuff it. I'm going to take over the garden. And we start getting hops. These are hop rhizomes that arrived yesterday afternoon. I've got a bunch of stuff down in the garden already. This is just to supplement the crop for this year. It's that slide. Suddenly you're growing your own hops. A plant that grows 6 metres up and bloody straight up in the air. It's not particularly practical in a backyard. But you jump on the internet, there's guys everywhere doing it. They're running hops up their bloody garden shed over the back of the house, along the fence. It's overtaken everywhere. It's running into the neighbour's yard, And why? Because we make them beer. It's just get a little bit crazy. But it's all part of the fun. It's what we do. We're having fun, we're doing it, we're loving it, we're having a good time. We're making beer. That's an IPA made, brewing a bag. With an awful lot of homegrown hops that were grown, not in my backyard, they're grown from my cuttings, and they're grown in the garden where I work. Massive amounts of homegrown hops went into this beer. And this is what we're doing. We're not relying on stuff. There's guys out there, they're malting their own grain. They're converting clothes dryers into malting bloody bins and cookers. I mean, I've even seen, even guys I've seen, they're growing their own grain, little small patches of grain, so they can do it all themselves, so it's even coming, you know, they're growing the grain and malting it themselves, and growing the hops, doing the whole thing, you know. About the only thing we can't really do is yeast, and if you've got some sort of bloody nous about you and you want to do some study, you can even get that yourself. It's a little different, but it can be done, and plenty of breweries do it. They get the wild stuff, yeah. You've got to ask, where does it stop? Where does it stop? For some people it doesn't. I mean, I'm sitting here right now going, okay, I've worked my way from the tins all the way through, done it practically every sort of step along the way over the last sort of 7 years that I've been back seriously brewing again. Worked my way up to a very 3V system that, you know, wasn't cheap to purchase. Took a while to get the money together to put all the bits and pieces, and took a long time, you know. Then I've jumped in and bought a glorified brew in a bag system, really. But cause it's like, oh, hang on, it's got some fancy buttons on, and it's going to do stuff that's a little bit more difficult for me to do on the other one. You know, so now I'm looking at, okay, well, I can do 2 brews in the one day. I can do one on this one and one on that system, and you know. Sometimes I wonder, am I crazy? Then I jump on the internet and, you know, I'm looking at other guys. I'm looking at other people on there, and it could be you. You could be one of them. And it's bloody, they're worse. They're worse. They've got more shit going on. Bloody, there's people building shit out of scrap they find on the side of the road, and it's like, oh, I'm going to make some bloody brew gear out of this. Yeah? So, the slippery slope, the obsession, the craziness that is home brew. It's so much more than, you know, just guys making shitty, nasty, high alcohol, terrible and hard to drink beer in the garage. You know, we've implemented science and ingenuity and engineering. And this sort of stuff, and it all comes out, it's coming out, and it's really coming to the fore now in the commercial and craft breweries. These are guys that have grown up as home brewers. You'd be lucky to find any guy who's running a craft brewery, or woman, you know. You'd be lucky to find anybody who's running a brewery that wasn't a home brewer. Yeah, and went, hey, I like doing this. I could turn into a job. I can make money out of this. Yeah. I wish I could. If I could, I'd be bloody all over it, I'll tell you. I'd much rather bloody spend all day, I'd rather spend every day brewing beer than going to bloody work. But we do what we can. So, yeah, if you're watching this, I dare say you recognise yourself somewhere in this mix. Yeah, you might recognise yourself in all different places in this mix and all these different things that we do. But at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing. We're all brewing beer. There might be different ways of doing it, but we're all doing the same thing. We all want to make the best beer that we can at home for a good price, because we enjoy doing it for the most part. Yeah, barring the guys that are out there that, you know, that are simply brewing beer because they want cheap piss and they like to get rotten drunk as cheaply as they can. You know, those guys are never going to, they're never going to get on the slide. They're at the bottom of the slide, sitting in a little mud heap at the bottom, puddling in it, and they don't know any better. With the rest of us that get up, climb the ladder to the top of the slide and get on, good brewing.